8 weeks on Mounjaro, and honestly, my relationship with food looks nothing like it used to. I'm not white knuckling it. I'm not starving myself. I'm not skipping meals and suffering. I'm just eating differently. And today I'm pulling back the curtain on what that looks like for me. Every snack, every meal, the good days that I just ate 3 bites because I'm done days. And plus, I'm answering one of the most asked questions that I see from women just like me about something that no one really talks about when it comes to GLP-1 and menopause. So stick around for that. The content in this video is for informational and educational purposes only and does not constitute medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. I am a licensed nurse practitioner sharing my own personal health journey. I am not your nurse practitioner, so my experience is not a substitute for professional medical advice. Always consult your own licensed healthcare provider before making any changes to your medications, your diet, or your health plan. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I'm Fallon, a nurse practitioner navigating perimenopause, post-VSG weight gain, and a new GLP journey using Mounjaro. So a quick update before we get into the food. This is week 8. I am still on 5 milligrams of Mounjaro. I was on 2.5 milligrams for 4 weeks, and I have been on 5 milligrams for the last 3 weeks, because it's been the last 4 weeks, because it's week 8. I'm down 13 pounds total since starting. This week was really good. I'm really into a flow with my eating. I am starting to venture out and add some new things to my regimen. When I first started, I tried to be really strict. I wouldn't even use the word strict, but I was very consistent with what I was eating because I wanted to make sure that I was hitting my protein goals and my fiber goals. So now that I have kind of gotten the hang of that, I kind of know how much protein is in certain things and that kind of thing, and how to put meals together that keep them high protein and still things that I enjoy. I'm able to kind of give myself a little bit of leeway on things or adding new things to the diet. So, or the lifestyle, because I don't consider this changing my diet just for my weight loss period, but I want to carry on these habits even after I reach my goal weight, which honestly, I don't even know what it is yet. Okay, I haven't been in the normal or not obese category for my entire adult life, even like my senior year of high school and up. So I don't even know what I want my goal weight to be yet. So we're navigating that together. All right. Now, my energy has been really good. My sleep is still really good. I'm still trying to go to bed around 11:30 at the latest. To be honest, there have been some nights I went to bed at midnight, but that was a long work day. But I try to be consistent with going to bed because sleep is so vital and important as well for weight loss when you're on a GLP-1 as well. So I've been doing pretty good with that. My sleep has been really good though, and the noise reduction around food, like that constant mental chatter, like what am I going to eat next and what's in the fridge and all that stuff, is still pretty silent for me. And that alone has been life-changing. So initially I was going to do like a day by day, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like kind of what I eat every day. But that would be really monotonous because I really eat some of the same things every day. So I'm going to kind of give you an overview of what my week looks like in general. So for Monday, this is usually a busy morning. This is getting back into the groove of like everybody getting back into the routines. My kids are going back to school and back into their weekly activities. I also usually film on Mondays when the kids are in school, so I pretty much stick to the same meal most of the time. My appetite is a little bit up on Mondays because remember my injection day is Wednesdays, and so right around Monday I've already had like a whole week and weekend with the full effect of the shot. And so around Monday or Tuesday, my appetite kind of increases a little bit, which is normal with the GLP-1 because remember, it's out of your system in about 5 days, which is why we do it around a weekly shot. Around 5 to 6 days it's in your system. So it makes sense that closer to the time when it's time to do the injection, you will see a light uptick in your appetite. And so I definitely see that. But it's not crazy or anything, but I definitely notice it. I can eat a little bit more. I'll say that. So for breakfast, I usually stick to my usual. I have two soy marinated eggs, which I've talked about a lot on the channel. I usually have two of those. I usually have a fourth of a cup of like Japanese peanuts. They have like this little crunchy coating on the outside. Has some fiber in it, has some protein in it, and it's a nice crunchy snack. So I know everybody, in the community usually picks like or has like a crunchy snack that they like. Some people, it's popcorn for them. Like they can have a whole bowl of popcorn and feel like, oh, this is great. I have just now been kind of introducing popcorn back. I didn't know if it was going to trigger like cravings for me. That's been a fear of mine through the whole thing, but I digress. So I will do like the peanuts because it's kind of my crunchy thing. Protein coffee I have usually every day during the week, which I put a vanilla premier protein in mine. I add collagen and I also add about 5 milligrams of creatine to mine. And then I have my flavored water on the side, which I always have with me at all times. And so I'll have that. Um, and then this is what I eat most every morning. It's quick, it's easy. I don't have to think about it, and I know I'm starting my day off with at least 50 to 60 grams of protein. So I'm getting ahead of the game. Remember, my goal is 125 grams of protein per day and then 25 grams of fiber. So if I'm getting 50 to 60 right off the bat in the morning, I'm ahead of the game. So if I fall off for the rest of the day, I'm still doing pretty good. Lunch for me looks about the same as well during the week. So I usually make like a quick spicy tuna. I'll just take some canned tuna and put like some mayo and sriracha, mix it up, and have that with like either some nori, like some seaweed snacks, those little seaweed sheets, or sometimes I'll just have like chicharron, like little like pork rinds, and have it on that and eat that for lunch. Maybe with an apple on the side, sometimes with a tangerine or something like that. That is usually what I'm eating for lunch because it's quick, remember, and it's easy. If I'm not having that, then you can find me with like a bowl of like a little bit of ground beef with some like taco seasoning, about a fourth of a cup of like cottage cheese, and then some spicy crema, like crema with like some jalapeno sauce or some chili oil or chili crisp or something like that mixed together, and I'll have that as for lunch, along with my water. Sometimes I might stick a few more peanuts in there with that or something like that, or an apple or something like that as well. So that's usually what lunch looks like for me. Um, and then dinner is oftentimes a rotisserie chicken thigh because that's something quick that I could order from the grocery store or pick up from the grocery store and, eat that really quick. It's done. It's dinner for the whole family, right? It's a whole chicken and I can parcel it out and take a thigh for myself. Sometimes I just eat the chicken thigh and that's it. Sometimes I have broccoli or green beans or something on the side. Now, and sometimes I might have a little bit of rice or something if that's what I've made like everybody else in my house. Um, for dinner, I also, if I'm not having chicken or something like that, it's usually for me like 4 ounces of steak, ribeye steak. I love steak; it's one of my favorite foods. So I'll have like 4 ounces of that, and I usually keep some in the freezer and pull it out and just air fry it most of the time. If you haven't air fried a steak, you're missing out. It's delicious. So I'll quickly air fry it and have that for dinner with a side of vegetables or something. That's usually what my days look like. That's definitely what my days have looked like um, in the first 4 weeks because I was being really consistent with what I was eating. Now, a snack for me, and all those, let's go back a little bit. Those are small size meals compared to what most people eat because remember, I'm a bariatric patient, but also it is big enough that I don't have to snack too much in between because it fills me up pretty quickly. Now, for snack, every single night, I have the same snack. It is a little sweet treat for me, so I think that's why it's been a constant in my in my regimen. I have cottage cheese and a Greek yogurt bowl every night. I usually have about a half a cup of each, the cottage cheese and the Greek yogurt, and then I put blackberries and blueberries in it, some ground flaxseed, which is great fiber, good for your digestion, and some stevia, a few drops of stevia in it, and it is amazing. I feel like satisfied at the end of the night. not too full, and that's usually like I'm up working late, and I have that around 7 o'clock or so, and that's like my last little bit of food before I go to bed. Lately, I've introduced the lemon flavored Chobani Greek yogurt to the bowl. Oh Lord, that's a game changer. It's so good. So that has just thinking about it right now. I want one, but I'm not gonna eat it until this evening. But I that has been a game changer for me as far as like changing the flavor, not getting bored with it, and it's really good. And I know that I'm getting antioxidants, right, with all the dark berries. I'm getting protein. I'm getting some omega 3s because I'm having the flaxseed and some fiber there. So I'm getting a lot of good things in that one little bowl, which has been life changing for me as well because it's quick, it's easy, I don't have to think about it, and I know that I'm getting that's going to help me reach those protein goals at the end of the day. So that was kind of the rundown of Monday. Well, Tuesday looks about the same as Monday. Tuesday is a busy work day for me, and I stick to what's quick and easy because it takes the guesswork out for me. So I'm not thinking about food so much as I used to. So it's really hard for me to meal plan and think about meals. I've gotten better at it. Um, Last week and this week, I feel like I'm more intentional about like planning meals so that I can stay, have some variety, remember to cook dinner for everybody because sometimes I forget because I'm not thinking about it, and kind of being a little more consistent with that. So I've been better with that, but sticking to kind of having those things ready, boiled eggs or marinated eggs in the fridge, yogurt in the fridge, cottage cheese, tuna in the cabinet. Little things that go with the tuna, like the pork rinds and the nori sheets. All of those things are important to keep around so that I don't have to think too much about eating. And that I just know I can grab something that's high protein and take care of it and eat it. I don't do too many like protein bars or protein shakes or any protein snacks or anything, and I only have one protein shake a day. So I'm trying to get my protein from real food sources. I'm trying to. That does not. I don't think there's anything wrong with using protein snacks. I do have some of them sometimes, but I'm trying to have more whole food than snacks. Wednesday is my injection day. So injection days, I try to keep the food pretty light. I usually have maybe one egg that morning and protein coffee because I usually do my injection after I've like dropped the kids off at school and all of that and got my morning started. So I'm pretty mid morning by the time I give myself my injection. Um, for lunch, usually I'll have like a small cheese quesadilla or something. I'll have like a small like 12 inch. Is it 12 inch? 12 inch flour. Is it 12 inch or 4 inch? The smallest one. Flour tortilla, the 4 inch flour tortillas with some cheese in the middle, and I just like fry that on both sides and have that for lunch. Um, and maybe with a piece of fruit on the side. And then for dinner, I'm usually not as hungry ever after I give myself my injection. Um, Sometimes the hunger goes down the day of the injection. Sometimes it's not until the next day, like Thursday. But sometimes I feel more tired after my injection. What I've talked about as well, I have the fatigue after the injection, and so I just don't feel like making a big dinner or eating a big dinner. So I will just have like a little snack plate, maybe with some chicken salad, a couple of saltines. Sometimes I'll eat some sardines with some saltines or something like that, and then an apple or something. And then I have my yogurt bowl that night, and I'm good. And there's no guilt there. That just means the medicine's working. That I don't have as much of an appetite. Now, when Thursday rolls around, my appetite is usually a lot lower even on Thursday than it is on Wednesday because now it's been like 24 hours. And so, again, I stick to my routine. It's boring. I know. That's why I didn't want to go day by day, with listing everything because it's pretty much the same thing. But I welcome it. I welcome the boringness of it all because I am not constantly thinking about food. I am not constantly chasing a craving. There would be days when I would have a craving for something and I would fulfill that craving. Maybe I say, oh, I want hash browns and this big breakfast sandwich, and then I'll have that, and then another craving will pop up for lunch, and then I'm chasing that all day. Like, I want pizza, but I also want a sub, and I will order both, and like have a little bit of, and just not constantly wearing myself out chasing those cravings. So I welcome the boredom of my diet, the boredom of how I eat, the consistency of eating that way and being satisfied, because I spent most of my life not being, and I spent most of my life chasing cravings and chasing food. And now I don't do that anymore. So I am so grateful for that. That alone has been life changing for me. Now, Fridays are where my eating starts to get a little bit more interesting again. We usually order out for the kids, so Friday nights in my house is usually pizza or sushi night or some type of takeout. This is where Mounjaro has been huge for me. I usually have one or two slices of pizza and I'm good. Or I might have, we're having sushi, I'll have a couple of pieces of sushi, maybe a little bit of the rice, and whatever the protein is, shrimp or beef for us is what we like. And I'm good. I'm good. I have a serving of something and I'm good. And I don't feel deprived. And honestly, eating out feels so freeing for me now. Um, at about week 5 or so, it was really scary. It was really scary to think about eating out or ordering out, because I thought there was a fear that somehow having the foods that I used to really binge on and eat on and love, that I knew were not healthy for me, would trigger me to crave those things again, would trigger the cravings. I would go off the bandwagon. I would start eating whatever I want. I would now be ordering, door dashing, snacks and Snickers and juice and ice cream and takeout. And like I would go down this rabbit hole. And that is what I thought that would happen. And I thought I would just fail again at this because, I'm a bariatric patient, and over the years, that it didn't fail me, but my habits and my body and my biology wanted to overtake it, and it did. And so I thought that that's what would happen. But as I started to slowly do those things, I realized that the medication kept working. Mounjaro kept working. It kept the appetite at bay. It kept the me being satisfied. It continued. I did not have to fight with my body anymore. And that still is unbelievable to me. I still am shocked every time I go out to eat or go do something and I'm not like drinking, slurping the entire drink down. Like now I will go and I'll ask for a diet or a Sprite Zero or something. I don't keep it in the house, but if I'm out to eat, I'll have that. And I'll take 2 or 3 sips. Like, and it's surprising. I can't believe that I'm able to do that and be satisfied. Excuse me if you just heard my dog barking because she's outside going crazy at something. Um, for the weekends, I keep them more relaxed, but still protein forward. Sometimes I skip the protein coffee. I'll have bacon and eggs with the fam. You know, I think I'm going to get back into making pancakes and French toast and all that stuff for them because they really love that. And I feel like I could have one of those and be okay. I'm starting to feel like I can be okay and introduce some of those things in a healthy way. But I will not eat not have my protein coffee, and I might eat like a sweet protein treat. So this is where some of the snacks come in for me. I like the legendary foods, strawberry pastries. I love the chocolate pastry, and then they have like a cinnamon roll. And I keep a few of those in the house. So maybe like 4 or 5 at a time. I keep them in the house, in my snack drawer, in the kitchen, and I will pull those out on Saturdays or Sundays or something. Especially if we're going out, we're doing something, and I don't necessarily feel like having a protein coffee because I usually have one every day of the week, and so I usually don't want to have it on the weekend. So I'll just stack my water instead and put my creatine and my collagen in my water, and then have the protein snack. And that really works well for me, and it's something fun and it's something different. Now, weekends are when you have kids, right? It's a time for birthday parties. It's when we get together with our friends. Sometimes they'll come over. Sometimes we'll be invited over there, and we're always cooking out or eating. And so I'm not tracking macros as obsessively. I just kind of listen to my body. I still usually hit my protein goals. Maybe my calorie goal goes up a little bit. So consistently I try to stay within 15 to 1550 calories a day, and maybe I have 1,600 or 1,650 on a weekend. And I'm okay with that. Sometimes our body needs that so that it can, uh, like it shakes the body up a little bit. Sometimes I notice like I'll have some more weight loss because of that. So I allow myself that leeway and that range. Just listening to my body, and it's something I haven't been able to do for years. So I am excited about that. Looking back at the whole week, a few things stand out to me. Number one, protein is everything. When I prioritize it, I feel full. I feel steadier. Um, my meal times stay more consistent. The second thing that you might have noticed is that my portions are dramatically smaller. But remember, I'm a VSG patient, so eating 4 to 5 small meals a day is normal for me and has been since surgery over 10 years ago. And my nutritionist, we talk about that, and that is what she recommends as well, because she knows that is really all that I can do to make sure I hit those protein goals, is to break it up into these small meals all day. So that is normal. So if you're a bariatric patient, talk to your nutritionist about it, but it's really good to split that up into little meals. And even if you're not a bariatric patient, splitting up things into little meals can help you get that protein goal, hit your protein goal more consistently, because you're not trying to sit down and eat all this big bowl of protein or a plate of protein all day. Okay, you can just eat little, and that adds up at the end of the day. Number 3, the food noise is quiet for me, which is still mind-blowing to me. And 4, I am not using food to cope with my stress anymore. And I'm sure there's some shorts on my channel about this, but the emotional eating and the not being able to reach for food, and not being able to, but not wanting to. It's the not wanting to. It's the not wanting to that makes it different. That I actually have to work through the emotion, but I don't want to reach for food for it, and I don't want to chase a craving for it. And that is life-changing. So regardless of what anybody says about GLP-1s, just that component itself can be life-changing for so many people, especially people struggling with obesity the way I have my entire life. That struggle is so profound, and once that struggle is taken away from you by the medication, it's almost like you can breathe again. And it's hard to explain that until you feel it for yourself. But I know so many people out there have felt that in watching their journeys and listening to people talk about their journeys, that until you start it and feel it yourself, it doesn't really compute or make sense to you. But the minute that you give yourself that injection and the minute it starts working, you understand it. All right, time for Clinical Corner. Okay, you ask and I'm answering. So we're going to talk about something that doesn't get enough airtime. Mounjaro, menopause, and the scale not moving, even when you're doing everything right. So the question is, I'm in perimenopause and I have been on the GLP-1 for weeks, but the weight loss is so slow compared to women that I know that are younger and on the GLP-1. Am I broken? This is a great question. You are not broken, but you are fighting a different battle. And I want you to hear this clearly. Here's what's happening in your body. So for us in perimenopause, there's the estrogen decline during perimenopause and menopause. And those shifts create shifts on where your body stores fat. So when you're younger, it stores fat. In other parts of your body, when you become midlife, it starts to store fat in your midsection especially. So you'll hear women say that have been normal weight, haven't had a problem with obesity their entire life, and they start to get that, what we call that middle tire, right? They start to gain weight in their midsection. And this slows your metabolic rate. At the same time that this is happening, cortisol from stress, which is that stress hormone, and your sleep-disrupted body, right, because you're probably having hot flashes in the middle of the night, or you're waking up and having insomnia, tells your body to hold on to fat, especially visceral fat. Remember, visceral fat is the fat that's around the organs, right? This is that really dangerous fat that we want to decrease and prevent. Now, Mounjaro is doing its job because it's reducing your appetite, it's improving your insulin sensitivity, but the reason that it might be slower is because it is working against a hormonal headwind that younger women simply don't have to worry about it yet. They will, but they don't have to worry about it yet. So what do you do to combat this? Because we already know that we're going to be fighting against this hormonal headwind, right? So what do we do to make this better? All right. First, you're going to redefine your progress, okay? If you're slowly losing, guess what? You're still losing. That is a win still. Even a half a pound a week over a year's time is 26 pounds lost. So slow is still sustainable, okay? So unless, you have stalled for months at a time or something like that, then slow is still sustainable. If you stall for months and months, then you might want to talk to your provider about your dosing and that kind of thing. But losing it slowly but consistently is normal when you're going through those hormonal shifts in perimenopause and menopause. The second thing you can do is to protect your sleep. We do not talk about this enough, and it is so important. I know hot flashes can make this a cruel joke to try to get sleep at night. The insomnia that comes at 3 a.m. can make it horrible. But poor sleep spikes ghrelin, which is your hunger hormone, and it can undermine everything the GLP-1 is trying to do. So talk to your doctor about sleep support if you need it. Sleep hygiene is really important. What is that? Sleep hygiene is having a bedtime routine. That's basically what sleep hygiene is. You will set it up to where you have a bedtime. Like I told you, I started doing 11:30 is the cutoff value. You need to have worked out by then. You need to have finished everything you're doing and get ready to get in bed. It could be reading a book, listening to an audiobook, having a warm cup of tea. Everybody likes different things. Having a warm shower right before bed or a bath, if you're a bath person, like all of those things are sleep hygiene things. You turn off the electronics, you turn off the computer, the phone, you get off the phone, and you kind of read or you listen to an audiobook or music. Get yourself into that habit of I'm resting, I'm getting my brain ready to rest. That can be really helpful to protecting your sleep as well. People we underestimate having a good sleep routine or bedtime routine. But we do it for our kids, and it works for them. Why don't we think it would work for us? Go figure. The third thing you can do is strength training over cardio. Menopause accelerates muscle loss. Remember, we talked about the estrogen going down. It can cause muscle wasting a lot faster. We start to lose muscle. So muscle is your metabolism. So even 2 sessions a week of resistance or strength training changes how your body responds to the medication. Please, 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 whatever you do, start strength training. The fourth thing you can do is to have the hormone conversation with your provider. If you're not already talking to your healthcare provider about hormone replacement therapy or evaluating your hormones, especially how that works with your GLP-1, bring it up to them. Talk to them about it. Many women have found that addressing the hormonal piece is what makes the GLP-1 actually work with their body instead of against it. And so please do that. Please have that talk. Hormone replacement therapy has gotten a bad rap decades ago over the years, but it is life-changing. It can reduce your cholesterol levels. It is cardioprotective. It can be renal protective, and as well as protecting your bones from osteopenia. So hormone replacement therapy is super important and super effective in maintaining the health of a woman as she goes through this huge life change. Now, finally, the last thing you need to do, okay, to answer this question is stop comparing your body to someone in a completely different hormonal decade than you. You are not behind. You are just in a different chapter of life, and it is okay. Please give yourself some grace. You are an older, mature, wiser woman. So now we just have to take care of our bodies in a different way and give it what it needs at this point in our life. All right, friends, that's my week 8 update. Real food, real results, real talk about what's going on with me. If you're on this journey, especially if you're in midlife, in your 40s or 50s, and in perimenopause or navigating that, and thinking about a GLP-1 journey or in a GLP-1 journey, I want you to know that you are not alone and you're not doing it wrong. Drop your questions in the comments. I read every single one. If there's anything that I can answer on the videos, whether it's a medical question or a personal question, Anything that I can help with the education of, that's what I'm here to do, and that's what I want to do. If this helped you, please give it a like, a share, comment, share it please, because it helps the video reach more women who need it when you share it. And subscribe so you don't miss week 9. It's free to subscribe. It doesn't cost you a thing. And I just want to build this community so that we don't feel alone and we're in this journey together. I'll see you in the next one, friends. Thank you for being here. Bye.